Hi, hello, it's Rob with RubberToe Assembly. Today we're going to show you the Lifetime Shed Gable Assembly, how to put the gables together before you install them later on. First you lay out the left piece and the right piece of the gable on the cardboard. As I've said before, provides nice flooring to work on, flat on concrete. Anyways, I'm going through here just deburring some of the plastic. This particular one, the holes had plastic where you have to see through those holes. Makes things a lot easier. I'm just going through with a little utility knife and clearing out those holes, as you see. Makes things a lot easier. You can, one, be able to line up there's a little round screen and everything underneath that is going to line up. You do this ahead of time. Makes things easier. Okay. You can also run a screwdriver through those holes and just pop them through real quick. I just happen to have the knife instead of a screwdriver. So it's all labeled in the bag, DSV. It's labeled as you refer to your instructions. Just dump this stuff out, and there you see me separating the pieces. You can see both gables. I'm going to the left to the right. I'm putting one screen and the other piece for each one. And then there should be 2 bags of hardware that go hand in hand with all this. So you take these short, fat screws, I call them. There should be 4 of them. Line this up nice and perfect, as you see there. And just drill one into each preset area on the gable. Should take 4 total. Again, set your torque on your drill gun to, I would say, medium, somewhere in the middle. I have another video that talks about torques on drill guns. So you have all 4 screws connecting that are inserted, and it's connecting the left and the right pieces of the gable. Okay, as you see, there's 3 holes on the top, 2 holes on the bottom. You can see those little holes, and you just line them up so you can see through the hole into the piece below. And then there's 3 on the top, 2 on the bottom. You just line that screen on top. It's actually got to be on the other side. So it looks like it skipped the part, my little trick that I do. Yeah, okay, so here's the same thing. Line that thing up, put the screen on top like so, and then this is a nice trick. It happens really quick. Alright guys, you watching? Put 2 fingers right there on those 2 rails. Gently lift up so the screen pops through, and then lean it right back down where it was. And you look at those holes are right on the money. If you do it slowly, carefully, just like you saw right there, that is one of the key tricks of making these things perfect. And it always lines up. And the reason I do it that way, you guys, is because, oh, I'm just switching tips from number 3 tip to a number 2 Phillips tip because they're different. Yeah, they got you switching back and forth all the time. You'll find that out real quick when you start building these. Anyways, the reason I do that, you guys, is because the screen, if it's not centered perfect and you put these screws in like you see me doing, zip zip zip, it's not going to happen because of what I did, that little trick I showed you. These screws, you put a washer on each short screw and you just put them into the 5 different holes, and I go straight down and you can hear it torque out. Medium torque, medium to low torque, and it should be good enough. It holds it on there. Great, perfect. Well, if you don't do it this way and the screen is a little bit off when you put these screws in, this being the final screw, it could twist that screen and just totally completely mess it up, and where it's unsalvageable. You don't want to damage the screen. So that's why it's imperative to have that screen and the piece below line up perfectly with those holes. If it's not perfectly lined up, that screen, you keep doing it over and over until it's perfectly lined up before you put those screws in. Makes all the difference in the world. Alright, so now we're flashing over to where I'm putting the header bar. Looks like the longer header bar on this one. Yeah, because it's an entry gable. That's why it's getting the header bar. But it's the long entry gable. It's not the short one that goes onto the lateral gable, which is in the middle, or sometimes to the side of the 20-footers and the 15-footers. Anyways, same concept. I have the gable. This is the entry gable, the wall entry gable. Cleared those holes out also on this one as well. Sometimes they're already cleared out. You don't have to clear them out. But if there's plastic goop, I call it, that's in the way, and you have to pop a screwdriver through there or clear it with a utility knife, that's fine. Anyways, doing the same trick on the entry gable and I did on the last one. Put 2 fingers down there, gently lift up, and then drop it back down, and the holes line up perfectly. Looks like I didn't even clear the top 3 holes, but the bottom holes must be lined up perfectly. So I've probably done this so many times that I just leave the plastic on the top 3 holes, because I just have an awareness of the screw. It's going to go straight down, it should go right in there, and the screen should be lined up perfectly and not twist, which it's not. As you can see, this screen is fine, because if it was catching on that screen, these screws, and twisting, yeah, I didn't even clean the holes on these top ones. If you're that good, you're that good, and it just goes right through there. That's like building this thing with my eyes closed, ladies and gentlemen. That's the equivalent to building it with your eyes closed, because I can't even see if the screen's lined up, but because I did it in that fashion, I'm showing you an example. See how perfect that is? Perfect. Love it. Anyways, big trick on how to get that screen lined up perfectly on these gables. That's how I do it. And then when you put the header bar on there, always make sure that center hole is to the right, not to the left, but to the right. If it's coming up to the left of where that screen is, right down the middle, as you see, I make a line and I can see it's to the right. That's what you want, because your door is going to lock into that. Your first door, the left side door, is going to lock into that. Those are your locks that keep the left door shut, so you can go in and out through the right door. And if you unlock those locks, you can go through the left door as well. Anyways, I'm putting it on, as you see there, with the longer screws, and they're catching right away, no problem. Boom. Complete. Alright, it's RubberToe Assembly, over and out. As you can see, these fine other sheds I've built other places. Wonderful. Alright, RubberToe Assembly, please subscribe. Thanks, you guys.